I don't think most tarot readers have an intuition problem. I think they have a trust problem. And I know that's probably not what most people expect to hear because we're constantly told that we need to strengthen our intuition, activate our intuition, develop our intuition. But what if your intuition isn't the problem? What if your intuition is already working perfectly? What if the real issue is that every time it speaks, you immediately talk yourself out of what you heard? Because if I'm being honest, that's what I see happening most often. A reader shuffles the cards, they ask their question, they turn over a card, they receive an immediate impression, and then they spend the next 10 minutes arguing with it. They reach for the guidebook, they search online, they watch a video, they pull clarification cards, they ask another reader. And somehow, by the end of it, they're less certain than they were at the beginning. And maybe you've experienced this too. Maybe you've had that strange moment where you finish a reading and realize that your very first impression was probably the most accurate one, not the interpretation you arrived at 20 minutes later. The first one, the one that appeared instantly, the one you dismissed. And that's what I want to explore in this video. Because the more I've reflected on intuition, the more I've come to believe that tarot isn't really teaching us how to become intuitive. Now, before we talk about trust, I think we need to look at something that most readers completely overlook. The moment intuition actually arrives, because intuition rarely arrives the way people expect it to. We imagine intuition as something dramatic, a lightning bolt, a psychic download, a voice from beyond, some unmistakable spiritual experience. And sure, sometimes people describe experiences like that. But for most readers, intuition is surprisingly ordinary, almost disappointingly ordinary. You pull a card and a word pops into your mind. You notice a symbol. You remember a conversation. You feel something in your body. You get a sudden sense that one card matters more than the others, and then it disappears. That's often how intuition arrives, quietly, briefly, without fanfare. And I think that's one reason people struggle to trust it, because it doesn't feel impressive. It feels so normal that we assume it can't possibly be intuition. We assume we're imagining it, making it up, projecting. But here's the interesting thing. The message itself often takes only a second. The doubt arrives afterward. The intuition might say, "This situation requires patience." And then the mind says, "Wait, how do you know that? What if you're wrong? Maybe that's not what the card means. Maybe you should check the guidebook." The intuition whispers. The doubt delivers a TED Talk, and because the doubt sounds more detailed, more logical, more convincing, we assume it must be right. And the more I thought about this, the more I found myself asking a different question. If intuition is already speaking to us, why is it so difficult to trust what we hear? Why do we trust everyone else's interpretation more than our own? Why is it easier to believe a stranger online than the quiet voice inside ourselves? And honestly, I don't think this starts with tarot. I think it starts much earlier. Most of us were taught how to trust authority, teachers, experts, books, systems, rules. We're taught how to gather evidence, how to justify our conclusions, how to explain our reasoning. But very few people are taught how to trust their inner knowing. In fact, many people are taught the opposite. Maybe you were told you were too sensitive. Maybe you were told you were imagining things. Maybe you learned that your feelings couldn't be trusted, that your instincts were unreliable, that other people knew better. And after enough experiences like that, something begins to happen. We stop looking inward first, we start looking outward for validation, for permission, for certainty. And then one day we sit down with a tarot deck and wonder why trusting ourselves feels so difficult. But maybe tarot didn't create that problem. Maybe tarot simply revealed it. Maybe the cards are holding up a mirror to a relationship that already existed, the relationship we have with our own inner voice. And if that's true, then this conversation is much bigger than tarot. Because at its heart, this isn't really about reading cards, it's about self-trust. A fear that doesn't get talked about nearly enough. The fear of being wrong. Because when people say they don't trust their intuition, I'm not always convinced that's the whole story. I think many people are afraid of trusting their intuition and then discovering they were wrong. Think about it. If you trust a guidebook and the interpretation doesn't resonate, that's okay. You can blame the guidebook. If another reader gives you advice that turns out to be inaccurate, that's okay. You can blame the reader. But if you trust yourself, if you trust your own intuition, and you're wrong, well, suddenly it feels personal. And so we start searching for certainty. But here's the problem. Intuition and certainty are not the same thing. In fact, I would argue they're often opposites. Certainty says, I need guarantees before I move forward. Intuition says, you already know enough for the next step. And this is where I started thinking about the High Priestess. Because let's be honest, she's probably one of the most loved cards in tarot. People love what she represents: wisdom, mystery, inner knowing, intuition. But the more I reflected on her, the more I realized something. Everyone loves the High Priestess. Very few people actually want her job. Because the High Priestess knows before proof arrives. She doesn't wait for external validation. She doesn't poll the audience. She doesn't ask 10 other people what they think. She listens. And perhaps that's what makes her so powerful. Not that she knows more, but that she trusts what she knows. And if we're honest, that's the part many of us struggle with. We want intuition to come with evidence. We want intuition to prove itself before we trust it. But the High Priestess teaches something much more uncomfortable. Sometimes trust comes first, and the evidence arrives later. And maybe that's why so many readers find themselves trapped in what I like to call clarification card syndrome. You know exactly what I'm talking about. You pull 3 cards, the message is clear, the reading makes sense, and then you think, maybe I'll just pull 1 more. 1 becomes 3, 3 becomes 7. Before you know it, half the deck is on the table, and somehow you're more confused than when you started. Now don't get me wrong, clarification cards aren't inherently bad, but sometimes they're not about clarity, sometimes they're about discomfort. Sometimes the reading already answered the question. We just didn't like the answer, or we didn't trust it. So we kept asking and asking and asking, hoping the cards would eventually give us certainty. But certainty was never on offer. And this brings me to a card that I think has one of the most important lessons for intuitive readers: the moon. Because the moon is often associated with confusion, illusion, uncertainty. People don't always love pulling this card. We want clarity. The moon gives us mystery. We want answers. The moon gives us questions. But what if we've been looking at it the wrong way? What if the lesson of the moon isn't how to eliminate uncertainty? What if the lesson is how to move forward despite it? Because maybe intuition was never meant to remove all doubt. Maybe intuition simply provides enough light for the next step. Not the entire path, just the next step. And if you've ever walked outside at night under moonlight, you know exactly what I mean. You don't see everything, but you see enough. And perhaps that's how intuition works too. The irony is that many people spend years trying to strengthen their intuition without ever stopping to ask what intuition actually feels like. Because most of the time, it doesn't feel extraordinary. It feels ordinary. A thought, a feeling, a word, a memory, a nudge, a knowing. Something so subtle that you almost dismiss it. And maybe that's why so many people miss it. They're waiting for fireworks. Meanwhile, intuition keeps arriving as a whisper. And after years of reading tarot, I've come to a conclusion that completely changed the way I approach the cards. I used to think tarot was teaching me how to become more intuitive. Now I think it was teaching me something else entirely. I think it was teaching me how to trust myself. Every reading became an opportunity, not to predict the future, not to find the perfect interpretation, not to prove I was right, but to strengthen my relationship with my own inner voice. And the more I practiced that, the less I felt the need to chase certainty. The less I felt the need to ask the same question 5 different ways. The less I felt the need to look outside myself for every answer. So maybe intuition isn't something you need to develop. Maybe it's something you need to recognize. Maybe it's been speaking all along. Maybe every reading you've ever done has contained a moment where intuition quietly stepped forward and offered its guidance. And maybe the real question was never, am I intuitive enough? Maybe the real question has always been, am I willing to trust what I already know? Because at some point, every tarot reader arrives at the same crossroads. You can keep searching for more cards, more confirmation, more certainty, or you can begin practicing something much harder, believing yourself. And perhaps that's the real lesson tarot has been trying to teach us all along. Not how to read the cards, but how to trust the person reading them.